Welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to install the fan onto the alternator, install that into the fan surround, strap that to the engine, install the engine shroud, ductwork, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing to backdate the heat. Because this is an air-cooled engine, there's some things that are a little different compared to a normal water-cooled engine, one of which is how it's cooled. The way this works is the crank pulley moves the fan, and the fan blows a bunch of air in here, and then this engine shroud directs all the air downward. You might remember from a previous video where I was installing those plated baffles. That's so the air sticks against the sides of the cylinder to pull as much heat from those cylinders as possible. And up front here, we have some heat ducts. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be backdating the heat. What that means is that originally this car had a 12-volt blower right here, and the air did a bunch of convoluted stuff with hoses and pushed the air down through the heat exchangers, or the heater boxes. On an air-cooled car, you have a typical exhaust with what's called a heater box. And what that does is the air goes in here, gets warmed by the primaries, and then comes out. That's how you get heat on an air-cooled car. And these heat ducts, I mean, they're reproductions, they didn't exactly fit great, so there's gonna be a lot of hammers later. So let's dive into it. All right, this part's gonna be kind of exciting because this is easily the blingiest part of the entire engine. And in one of my previous videos, I showed you how to polish this thing, so I used a translucent gold from Prismatic Powders. But yeah, really happy with how this turned out. This is the alternator that I had redone at Fondy Electric. And then the fan surround I had done in a kind of charcoal graphite metallic. It's really cool looking in person. I don't know if it'll pick up in video. But what we want to do here is mount the fan to the alternator, and then I have the pulley as well. I had the pulley powder coated in the same charcoal color. I don't know how that's going to do with the wear surface of the belt right here, but we'll find out. So it looks like the powder coat is a little too thick on the inside of this pulley. So I'm sure some of you guys remember how hard it was to get this thing off. I just wanted to file the center and this pulley to make sure these would go together. They do. And now I need to install it on the alternator. Why? Why do you fit like such shit? Well, the shaft looks really clean, and this bore looks really clean. The only thing I can see maybe is there's a little bit of dirt in the groove here. I think what I'm gonna do is try to just thread this nut on here to push the fan down onto the shaft. So, shims and pulley. I have a little bit of a lip of powder right here. It was masked off so the alternator would slip in, but there's just a little tiny lip, so I'm just gonna zip it off with this Dremel tool. All right, there's no more lip on this edge, so the alternator should slide into it now. What I wanna check is where this little hash mark is, that's down. So this is gonna sit like this. If I want my alternator to face the same way, I have to go back and reference the video I took when I disassembled this thing so I can figure out if it goes like this or like this. So I'm gonna go check that quick. All right, yay for documenting my previous work. I figured out how this thing fits. The voltage regulator needs to be on the passenger side of the engine. So it's gonna be right about here in relation to the bottom of the fan housing. So we're gonna try to drop this in here without scratching it too bad. Okay, we are all the way in. We're gonna see if we have any contact. Looks like good clearance everywhere, which is awesome. I'm gonna bolt this puppy in. So before I can bolt the alternator into the fan shroud, I actually need to hook up the alternator to the wiring harness and put that tiny shroud on the back of it. But before I do that, I have not gone through this harness. I've had no electrical problems with this car, but I did notice some cracking on some of the soft durometer rubber type deals. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this thing, and then I'm gonna paint any cracked insulation I see with liquid electrical tape, just to make sure that it lasts for another, I don't know, however long it lasts. But I can't afford a new harness, so this is what I'm gonna do to make sure that it still works. All right, so I'm having trouble getting these two parts to come together, so I'm gonna try to use a couple wood clamps, one on each side of the fastener, see if that works. Not really sure where I'm supposed to get any more space on this thing. So here's the 25mm Allen bolt. It's not even long enough to stick out the bottom of that flange there. So into the hardware store, and I bought a 40mm bolt and a 50mm bolt. So we're gonna see which one fits better. Let's try the 40. Wow, even the 40 doesn't really stick out. So I guess we're gonna use the 50. So literally, the bolt that comes in the kit, you need to double that length. So Rennline, I don't know why you're shipping bolts that are literally half the size they need to be. That's dumb. Where are you going? Nowhere. Alright, so I had both of my heater ducts powder coated. They look pretty incredible, but the problem is these weren't on this car. Previously this had a block off plate here, and what I'm going to be doing is getting rid of my blower, so I need to run these two different plates. The problem is they're not quite fitting. This one's interfering with the fan strap that I just installed. The other side though, this is what was here originally, a molded plastic piece. I could still reuse this, but I wanted these to match just because. So I bought this one, but this one is not fitting at all either. It looks like this was contacting first, so I hit this with a hammer to help clearance it. But where it's really contacting is on the tensioner line. So I think what I'm gonna do is just cut the end of this off. I'll probably just have to try to put an elbow on here. I'm not really sure, but it's too long and there's just no way I can beat that into an oval shape. I mean, I could, but that would look really hack. So we're gonna trim this thing. Wow, that took a lot of effort. I want to say that took at least an hour trying to adjust this thing to fit properly. It didn't fit really anywhere. So when you put it in here, it's just smashed into this Carrera tensioner. So what I wound up doing was I tried putting this in a vise, but it just kept squishing the top because the top is weaker than down here. So I wound up using pliers, a blowtorch, and a vise, and just slowly bent everything here up. It looks like it's just gonna clear, just barely. The other thing that didn't fit was up here. It was shaped like a taco, like an upside down taco right now, and it would just rock back and forth right here. It still does it a little bit, but I think it's gonna distort a little bit when we get it torqued down, but wow. Before I can install this, I need to get some foam tape, but I do want to just put it on here just temporarily. All right, that about wraps this episode up. Next episode is going to be going through the fuel system, and I'm going to show you what that looks like because it's awesome, so stay tuned.